Hey guys, so I'm starting to work on the right leg today, and I want to try something a little different. I want to hollow it out, and I know that what is it, X Mesh or yeah, I think it's X Mesh Pro. I think that's what it is. Um, I know they have a hollow out feature. The problem with I have with that is it's really you really don't have much control over it, and I guess I'm a control freak. Or at least I haven't had much success with it, and maybe that's the problem. Maybe it's operator error. So I wanted to try this anyway. I'm going to take a spline, which I've already set up here, which is right there, and I'm going to use that to hollow it out. So it's conforming with his leg, and this should be really straightforward. The model itself, because I'm going to boolean it out, the model itself should be airtight, so there shouldn't be any holes in it, but I'm going to check anyway. And there's 0 open edges. All I do is select border and control A, which I always do before I start anything that I know I'm going to boolean. I don't expect this to be nice and neat because the way the mesh is, but so just select the spline and we're going to enable it in viewport under the spline and modify. So right now, let's see, I can kind of see it through there. So you can kind of see what it's doing. It's conforming okay. I think it's starting to get a little close here. And I'm going to edit some of this out later. That's nice and centered. So I think what I may do is I may actually, let me get off of render. I may go in and just refine this a little bit. Nothing, nothing over the top. So I just added another point in there. I know it's hard to see, but so I'm just going to pull this back a little bit. And I think I might rotate it a little. And then this I want to be flat, so let's see. I'm just going to create, hard to see. I'm just going to create a little spline in there. Oops. And then I'm going to straighten this out, I guess. So this way it's a little straighter. So if I go to the front, that's not straight there. So we'll just angle that to where it's kind of straight. I'll move this back just a little bit. That looks pretty good. I should probably do the same thing here where I straighten it. So I'll refine that. Find the center point. And then I'm just going to go ahead and yeah, actually I'll go up here. Yeah, okay, well, I gotta edit that out anyway. Oh, it's because it's not aligned this way. So if I just align it that way, yeah, there we go. Okay, so some of that I might fix later. Let me just look here. Yeah, so that's what I thought. It's going into here, and I kind of want all of that to stay the way it is. So I need to lower this whole thing down. Oops, let me actually do this too. I can kind of see where that kind of ends right there. So I think what I'll do is I'll drag this back a little bit. You know, I do not like that being there. Let's just get a good angle on it. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of that too. This way, this is what I'll leave. Okay, so that's your front. That's your left side. And I'll give myself a little more room. Okay, so I think that's pretty good. I'm going to leave the foot base. And I'm going to print this whole thing out because this will maintain, it'll be a little bit heavier. And it'll give me a platform to kind of mount to. I'll raise this up a little, and I'll give myself a little more space. Okay, cool. So I want to look at the line now, and let's see. We have 12 sides. I mean, that's all well and good. I technically don't really need it, but let's see how far I can actually go with it before it breaks it up. So starting to get into the foot here. I'm adding too many points. Okay. So that's leaving a lot of space in here, and I really don't want that. Okay. So that's good. I'm not going to edit down here. I'm mainly going to focus on editing these in here. Um, I can actually go in, I think, and optimize this way. Is that how it works? I can't remember. All right. So that's fine. So I'll just work with that. Let's see if this is even going to work. I'm going to take this one here. I'm going to select an edge. I think I'm going to selection. Is that where it is? This is really weird that it's not coming up. I do not want to minimize. Let's go to selection sets. Damn it, they changed this, and I don't like it. Why did they do this? Yeah, I don't like how they did this. Loops, there it is. Okay, so let's go to loop tools, and it landed on the other screen. I'll put that here. Let's do... No, I don't want to do those. God, I hate the way they did this. Okay, that's how I'm used to it. There we go. Okay. Sorry. Alright, so what I just did every other one. So I can do a tiny little, press Control Delete, and I'll just kind of optimize it a little bit. And I got rid of this top one, which I didn't want to do. Okay. Looks good. Alright, so I'm gonna increase the size of all of these here. Let's loop this. Yeah, I'll leave that the same size for right now. I'm just blowing it up to kind of get rid of some of the space that's in between there. And these all kind of look like they match. Now, I may find that I don't like this at all, but I think it's worth a shot. Okay, so that looks like it's doing okay. Now, I may have some tweaks here and there, but go back to the left side. Okay, that's a good shape. These look like I can shift over. So I'm going to shift these over. I'll include that one. I'll shift these over a little bit. I'll stretch them out that way. I'm just trying to get an even distribution here. Okay. So that's going to be our hollow out for that. Now, inside here, I really got to figure out what I'm going to do. I mean, that's a pretty meaty area. Oh, I got a little problem here. Okay, so yeah, that's just not acceptable. I can't have that happening. So, so it's going to give me, yeah, it's going to give me a good amount of working space there. So I may actually pull some of these out. And this doesn't have to be perfect. This is just a shell. There's no art form going on here. I just want it to fit and give me enough space when building. I don't see anything protruding through. That looks nice and sealed. I could probably squeeze a little bit more out of this. Let me go. You know what? I'm going to take this whole side. Okay, so that looks like it fits pretty good. Still got some space in there. And I don't necessarily need. So I'll go the screen view here. Just pull that out a little bit. Okay, that's definitely hitting the mark. Watch me do all of this and it doesn't work. I mean, it'll definitely work. It's just I might not like it. Pull some of this back. Pull some of this back. Okay. Bring this in just a little bit. I could definitely pull these out. Alright, let's see where we are. Yeah, I mean, I can definitely get more out of it. I just don't know how much I want to actually do. Because this is still fairly thick in here. But that's going to save me quite a bit of filament. I'm going to save that really quick. Man, it's taking a long time. Oh, actually, I have this saved wrong. This is saved Godzilla. Oh no, it's saved Godzilla right leg. Oops. Alright. So now that we have that in place, let's do this. Let's go ahead and do a Boolean operation here. Go to compound objects, select on Boolean. And hopefully this is going to work out fine. We're going to add the this other model to it. It defaults to union. I'll let it do its thing. There it goes. I'll hit subtract. Come on. Alright. So it's definitely hollowed out now. So let's take a look at what this actually means. Let's add an edit poly modifier over the top. Alright, let's hide inside here. And I still haven't made a hotkey for hide, but alright, so let's bring that back up. Okay, so we got a hole in there, and that looks good. And all this tearing is just because I hid the polys. Okay, so we got a nice little hole. We're good. Okay, so now let me see here. I have my little script that I have to drag in. Oh, before I get into that, what I need to do is I need to lay out my boxes, and I'm only going to do 150 millimeter boxes, and that's the print volume size, and you probably heard me talk about it in another video. So this is just to get my general sizing of the box, and not by layer. I want it to be see-through. I'll actually show the edges. Okay. Okay, so this looks like it'll be, look at the front here. Okay, so it's probably going to be 3 splits along the way. So be squared up. Okay, so these 150 millimeters, let me check. Not negative 150. I'll do negatives here. Okay, so I'm going to clone it. I'm going to make an instance of it in case I decide later to change it. And then I am going to move it by, oh, I can just type it in, by 150. So now these are going to be perfectly butted up next to each other. And let's also move these in line. Awesome. So they fit there. And it just fits in there. So it's going to be split into 4s. It looks like it's a lot. And that's kind of a thin spot right there that I don't want to slice. Let me just give it a little nudge. I'm just trying to make sure it doesn't grab this little piece right here. Just for now. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to just clone this. I guess I could have hit Control V, but I didn't. And the same thing, I'll just do 150. That's my distance. And Control V, and instance these guys. And I should have, so now we're going to go 150 on Y. Make sure I got everything. Yeah, I got everything. And we'll do it again. This time we'll select all of them. And this is just reference. So we're going to Control V those guys. In this case, we're going to go up 300. Yep, because I'm doing 2 sets of boxes. Okay, so that still fits in there. That's perfect. This does not, which, that sucks. Okay. So I'm gonna do it again. Control V this. I'm gonna go up by 300. That seems to fit in those pretty good. So I'll delete that. Don't need those two boxes. Let's go to the left and see what's happening here. Okay, so I have the front of the leg here, and that's sticking out. So I need to figure out what to do. So what I could do is maybe I could move these boxes back just a little bit, because I mean, I want to even cut along the way, but because I'm dealing with 150, that's going to leave me with, depending on the printer, that's going to leave me with distance, like extra room. So the printer is 170. The one printer is 200 by 200 um, length and width, and then it's 175 high. So, I mean, regardless, the reason why I'm making these pieces smaller is for instances like this. So what I'll wind up doing is I'll cut this whole thing up, and then these little extra hangovers, I'll just wind up welding them and fixing it. Now that piece looks like it's going to be a pretty big extension. That looks like it'll be its own piece, that's perfectly fine. And this piece looks like it's coming out. Let me do this. Let's make sure we can see how much is actually sticking out. You have a couple extra slices down here popping out. Got that one coming off. Okay. So what I can do, you know what, I'll just select them all and then deselect this. I'm just going to, I can't squeeze that over. I could a little bit. That's going to leave me less on here. And then my other problem area was back there. And I don't think I can actually, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to leave it at that. And now for the little trick here that I always use now is I am going to extend the bounding area. So what I want to do is I just want to select one set of these boxes for now. I'll deselect that. I'll hit Control V, and I want to go backwards 150, so negative 150. And these are just reference points, and you've probably seen me do it in other videos, but is it selecting those boxes? Yes. Alright, so I'm going to Control V that. I'm going to instance it, and then I'm going to move 150 along X. Okay, so the reason why I'm doing that is because I need my script to know what I'm trying to do. Also, let me do this. Come on. I'm going to select all of these and just raise this a little bit. Okay, cool. All right, and I'm actually going to save a rev of this and then I'll organize the file later, but I won't bother you guys with that. Alright, so we are going to call this, okay, so that's the Boolean setup. Alright, we are good to go. So now all I want to do is make sure the script knows that what my bounding area is. Oh my god, this does not want to select. I gotta collapse this down. Okay, now let's try it. There we go. Alright, so all I'm doing is adding it to the extents of the box that I put in. And this way it knows what I expect, where I expect to cut it. Because now that I have this point here and here, when I say I want it split 150 millimeters and I want it split 1, 2, 3 times, it'll actually give me my lines where those box lines are. That's all. Simple as that. And I'll do the same thing up top here. And I hid all of my verts, so let me unhide those. I'm going to do the same thing with the top. If I can, no, don't do that. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing with the bottom. Clone to element. Okay, so now we have it on this side and this side. Let me go to the front. And one thing I didn't do was I didn't put one back here. Ooh, that is just cutting it, isn't it? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of these. Deselect this, and I'm going to do the same thing. Control V, instance. We're going to shove it on X. Okay, do the same thing on this side. Okay, so now that we have that done, I want to show you something here. So we have what is it? We have 150. So each square is 150. So we have 450 squared, which is great this way. So what you should see in the bounding area, so when I go to properties, I should be getting somewhere 450 millimeters. Oh, this actually doesn't take it into consideration, but my script does. Interesting. Did not know that. Huh. Okay, fair enough. That's weird. And let me make sure my scale is right. Oh, that's why. Because its absolute scale is off. Alright, so there is a fix for that. So we're just going to reset the X form so it knows that the actual size of this. Now when I go to properties, it should show me, yeah, so 450, I don't know if you could see that, but 450 millimeters. It's actually 449.88, so I'm off by a little bit, but that's inconsequential. Okay, awesome. So I'm going to save that. No, not save as. I'm going to save that. Try it again, or I could have just pressed Control S. So now we're going to use my, let's see, where is it? Where is it? Sorry, I'm on my other screen right now. Open up the newbie slicer, which is right there. Just going to drag this guy in here. And let's see, so I want, okay, so if I'm slicing along the X, I do want it to split the mesh. I've already reset the X form, so we're good. I want two slices, one, two, those two lines, and I want my distance to be 100 and, come on, 150 millimeters. And let's see if I picked the right axis. Okay, so we have two, and we got one line right there. We got one line right there. You see those yellow lines? So I'm off by a hair, but inconsequential. It's not going to make a difference. Awesome. So I'm gonna accept that, and I'm going to just, now I wonder how this is going to work with the capping, but we'll find out in a second. I'm going to select all, and I'm just going to hit cap, and let's see how we do. So that part is completed. That part is completed. The inside, let's see if the inside worked out. So I need to match up. Oh, I forgot about this part. I always do that. So probably what I should have done is I should have cut it from bottom to top first, and then I would have been able to cap that a lot easier. That would have been the way to go. But I'm still going to have the same problem. Yeah, let's do it that way. Okay, so let's get rid of these slices. Come on, get rid of the slices. Okay, so we're gonna go back to converting it. This time we're gonna do it one, two, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 slices along the Y at 150. We're gonna go along the Y here. We're gonna hit preview. Okay, so the first go around is not gonna be as easy as I thought it was going to be. Ah, I did it off the wrong axis. Let's hit preview. Okay, there we go. So it's Z axis. I also do that all the time. Okay, so before I get into anything else, what I'm going to want to do, and I'll reconnect all of these later, but because I shelled it out like that, I'm going to have to, did I not accept that? I don't think I accepted it, damn it. No, I didn't. Okay, noob slicer tool, let's try that again. Z axis, I need 1, 2, 3, 4. I need them at 150. I need to split the mesh. I need to preview. Yes, and then Ollie will accept it. Good lord. Okay. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to detach these for now, but I'll reattach them later. And I'm just doing them by object. So I'm using element here. And I'll detach that. Okay, cool. So now comes a little surgery. Not that big of a deal, but it will take a little bit of time. Okay, let me freeze all these boxes, put them on their own layer. Come on, really? Good lord. Alright, so let me take all of these boxes. I want to put them on its own layer. And let's see. Create new layer. Let's see. Print boxes. Okay, so those are on its own layer. I can hide those now. Alright, so I'm going to isolate this. Let's take a look at what's going on in here. Okay, so the reason why it doesn't cap is because it doesn't realize these are two separate pieces. So I know there's an easy way to do it. I can't remember how. Oh, that's not how you do it. So what I normally do is I'll just kind of close off areas where I'll just select one edge and then another edge. Can't really see that well. And I'll just bridge a couple of areas together. I really need to look if there's a faster way to do it. And then we'll bridge that. Okay, so now I did a couple of them. Come on. I should just be able to select all and hit cap. I think that did the job. Yep, okay. So now we got an actual hole in there. So when this prints, it's going to print, do the base first, and then it's going to get into here, and it's going to save a whole lot of filament that I don't need. And if I wanted to put something like a weight in there, I can do that. So if I needed more weight in there, I can, you know, either get some sort of cement if I wanted to, whatever I can find that will work. Okay, so that piece is done. That's all I got to do on that. I'm going to isolate this selection. I'm going to do that same thing. I'm actually going to work in perspective view here. Let's see if I can get away with just doing two sides. Pretty sure I can. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. But I think we're good. Okay, that's it. Now we're airtight in this. Oh no, no, not the one I want to do. Let's bridge that. Kind of looks like inverted. Okay, let's see if we can get away with this. Yes, we can. And it looks good. Okay, so we should be able to see right through this thing now. Bam. Nice. And isolation. Go to the next one. Let's just isolate that. This one's a little bit bigger, but could actually move that, but I won't worry about it. Yeah, I don't see getting away with only two pieces. So we will do three. That's not an open edge. That is though. Okay, let's see. See what we got. Good. Good. I mean, really, we don't need to do probably even three of them or two. We could probably just do one and it would understand there's a connection. Let's try that. Let's just do bridge. Got a good section there. Should see it go all the way around. Alright. I don't see any weird anomalies, so we're good. It's a lot of space in there. That's fine. Because once I slice it up, there'll even be more. Okay, so let's isolate this part. Let's do it. We got two more times of doing this and then we're done. Oh, this one I don't think we have to do. I think we're good here. Yeah, we don't have a hole on that one. And it looks like the same goes for this. Guess I could have actually built more up, but that's fine. That's just going to be a honking piece, which I might clean out later. I don't know. Haven't decided yet. I won't do it for this video. And I will end isolation. Did I do the... So that's it. That should be... Oh, what are you doing down here? Yeah, that's not right. Okay, so this one is the one that got away. Yeah, okay. So, made a mistake. We're going to fix that mistake right now. I want to see what's going on here. Okay. That's what happened. Okay, so made a mistake, left one of the pieces out, and that's fine because I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to delete what we just made. I'm going to attach this guy here. Let's attach that little piece there. We're going to close this thing off. I don't know why I'm zoomed out so far. Let's bridge that up. And there you go. Okay, close it off. May try and expand that. That's a bit much. Okay, so let's end this isolation. Then we'll go to this top piece because we missed that. I think we missed that. Yes, we did. Okay, so there you go. So we're just going to do a quick check on these. Isolate. Looks good. And isolate. Looks good. Yeah, we're good. So some of these thinner parts, I may actually drag them in to perfect them, but you get the idea. I just want to go through the rest of slicing it. Okay, so what we want to do now is I want to put them back together, so I'm just going to attach them. No welding or anything like that. Just want to make it into one piece again, because this time around, I'm going to show my print boxes. Show hidden wireframe. And I need to move. Oh God, I gotta freeze these. Jesus. Okay, freeze. This is Godzilla. Let's just go right leg, name him. And okay, so my slicer tool is open again. And we did it along the Z last time. We're gonna do it along the X. So 1, 2. We're gonna do 150 millimeters. We're gonna preview that. Okay. So look at that. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, so I'm going to accept that. And then we're going to hide our print boxes again. I'm just going to convert it. So now what you should see is a box for every section. You see a couple little pieces. These are the type of pieces that I would merge together towards the end. What I'm going to try and do is I want to see what inner pieces kind of got lost in the shuffle. Okay, so you see how this inner piece is over here? It's kind of hard to see. This didn't take with... Oh, yes it did. Okay. So let's try this. I know I've done this before and regretted it, but I'm just going to hit my border. I'm going to select all. Basically, I'm going to select all the open edges and I'm going to hit cap. See where it leaves me in life. And I could have sworn there was an explode, but... Okay, so this guy doesn't look like he was sliced. Oh, yes he does. Yes, he does. Alright, so I want to take this bottom one. And I'm just going to detach him. Actually, do I even want to detach him? Nah. Okay. That looks all sealed off. I'll undo that. Come on. 5. I don't know why it won't let me select it. That is... Oh, I have lock on. Okay. That looks good. Yeah, I'm real happy with that. Sweet. Okay, so let's move to the next section here. And we got all that done. I'm not detaching anything, and then we'll do an idiot check after the fact. So I'm bring my boxes back up, so it should be the same count on the Y as well. So Let's do a preview. Let's make sure that I'm not crazy, which I probably am. I do not see my slices. Oh, they're going this way, that's right. Oh, I needed 3, so I'm not going to accept that. Gotta do 3 on this one, because there's 1, 2, 3 lines here. So it's already telling me, like, hey, these are going to be, by default, because of the bounding areas, it said, why did it jump to, I need 3, not 4, 3 slices. Okay, so we're already on preview mode. Preview, look at that, awesome. Okay, that's where we want to be. Okay, so we're going to select all open edges here by just hitting Control A. You know what? I'm going to collapse it down too, so it's nice and fast. So you see you got our lines in there. Every single one of them is a box. We're going to cap them all off. Okay, so let me save this out. Saving. This is taking a good amount of time. So, yeah, I mean, basically where we are right now is I've just cut everything up into sections. And that's pretty much it. So, I mean, now's about the time that I would start detaching everything. I know there's a way to explode. Let me see if I could do that. Could have sworn that there was a way. Maybe it's a modifier. Unless I'm thinking of another program. Let me just look really quick. Nope. Don't care. Actually, let me just check one more thing. No. Alright. Well, I'm sure there's one in there. I'll eventually find it, but for right now, it's being done manually. So, bear with me. So we're not going to worry about naming right now. It's kind of a weird one, isn't it? Oh, what did I just select 2? Ooh, got some stragglers in there. So yeah, all of those little pieces I'll put back together. These are just pieces that fell out of range. Some of these might actually just be errors, because I had that in the last file when I did it. And that could be script related, but I'll leave all those small pieces. Some of the pieces wouldn't even matter. Yeah, I don't know why some of these got messy like this. That's weird. These do not look right. No, that is not right. Okay, something went wrong there, maybe. Oh no, I'm just looking at it weird. Okay, so just step through all of these. Yeah, on this part, I don't want to put too much thought into it because I'll look at the pieces when they're all separated, see if there's any errors in them. And it may seem like a lot of pieces. Well, at this size, it is a lot of pieces. So let's throw out this. Yeah, I almost pressed the delete. Oh, that's cool. I get to do the claws by themselves. That worked out. Okay, so I have these little leftover pieces, and what I'm going to do is because I have these little leftover pieces, I think that's got a big piece right there. That's an inside piece that didn't get cut out. Okay. So there's definitely going to be some fixing to do, but for right now, let's take all of the front section of the leg, select it down the line, and let's see if I got it hollowed out, because if not, I'm going to have to go back in my file here. Okay, so we're going to hide this. Alright, so okay, so there's definitely some areas that'll need to be cleaned up. I don't know what that is. Too thin. So something's Z fighting there. This all looks like it came out pretty well. So these pieces should print good. Yeah, so now I'll be able to print these sections in small little bite-sized chunks. And, you know, certain ones that I'll clean up, like this is a good example right here. Let me isolate this one. That's not a good example. Let's end that. Let's look at this one, why it's fighting. Okay, so it looks like there's a poly that's floating around in there. Okay, so that's the reason. So it's just too close to the other one, the edge. So that won't print very well at all. So what I could do on that is I'll just drag that out, and that should solve the problem. Matter of fact, I might just delete that entirely and recap it. Oh God, stop hitting buttons. This way if I move it, I can move it in one big section. So I just increase the hollow section. I got one back here too that I need to fix. So, yep, they were pressing up against each other. No, not screen view. Okay, so it looks like I don't have any problems anymore. These parts, when you get into these sections, kind of got to think about it because it might be too sharp and it becomes a pain to put them all together. And while I'm here, I'm probably have to fix this side too. Isolate selection. Nope, that seems to be okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and bring our pieces up here. And then I'll do a quick auto rename. No, actually I'm not going to do that right now. This will be our final. And then there is a batch exporter that I downloaded. I think Max does it already, but I think it only does FBX. So it's a export selected. So what it'll do is I'm telling it to do an OBJ because I got to bring it into Simplify 3D. So all I'm going to do is hit export here, and it will actually just do these names. So that's actually not what I want, but because these don't really mean it name-wise, but it don't mean anything. So what I'll do is I'll show you what it's exporting really quick, if I can find it. Alright, so let me go here, go to my models. Okay, so while that's exporting, you could see it's making everything. So it's basically writing all these out. You'll see it just keeps going until it's done. So right now it's at 25. So yeah, basically it'll go through each one of those objects that I selected and push them out for me into a directory that I've defined earlier. And that's it. And it'll tell you where I put it, what the name of the file is, and all that good stuff. So again, I'm just going to save this, and I'm going to delete these files because I don't need them right now until I name them. All right, well, anyway, I think that's it. That's the best that I could show you. That's hollowing it out and slicing it. That took about an hour on an extremely large piece. It came out really well. I'm gonna have to do some tweaking to it, and that's it. I mean, this guy is, these pieces are, kind of ready to be printed. I just got to bring them into my my 3D printer slicing tool, and I should be off and running. So I'm gonna check all this stuff out and start printing, and I will show you some of the results. Thanks for watching. I hope this helps with people trying to do larger models. All right. See you next time.